why did we say a new global energy economy is emerging? Because we look at the data, the growing share of solar, wind, electric cars, and others. Since then, since the Italian presidency 2 years ago, in the last 2 years, there were a lot of evolutions in the energy markets, including the first global energy crisis we are experiencing now. And today, when I look what we said 2 years ago, it was just right. We are seeing all key clean energy technologies flourishing around the world. Very strong growth. And this is driven by, in fact, 3 factors. One, the many governments around the world pushing the clean energy options as they are secure energy sources. So energy security is the first driver. The second driver is of course, many governments, in fact, most of the governments around the world made climate commitments, and they want to be in line with their commitments. And third, and often overlooked, by manufacturing, by pushing clean energy technology options, countries want to position themselves in this new global energy economy. So as a result of this overlapping drivers, we are seeing a major growth. When we look at the reflection of this, what is happening in the energy world, reflection of it on the industry sector, the global industry, I can say that in fact, this is, in my view, the most important conclusion of our flagship publication, Energy Technology Perspective. It is that our world is entering a new industrial age, the age of clean energy technology manufacturing. And in my view, this report became the global guidebook for the clean technology industry of tomorrow. Every country around the world can take this book, look at it, the entire supply chain, not only the manufacturing, but the entire supply chain, from mining of minerals to their processing, and processing of the minerals to manufacturing. They can look at it and they can decide themselves, looking at their own strengths and weaknesses, what kind of new industrial policy they can develop. So I am thankful to my colleagues here working on that. Another important outcome of this report is, when I look at the numbers, this new industrial age brings together a major new market, billions of dollars worth of a new market, and it will help create millions of jobs around the world. So these are all very good, very encouraging results. And in my view, one of the most promising one is that Dr. Gül and his colleagues look at all the projects, announced projects around the world, on the batteries, on electrolyzers, on heat pumps, solar panels around the world, one by one, a big job, and filter them, whether or not they are robust to go or they need to be disregarded. The ones who are ready to go in terms of consideration for being implemented, if you put all of them together, all the clean energy technology projects, the investments going there, equal to 2/3 of the investments we need to reach our climate goals. to reach our net zero target. So if all the investments going into these announced projects and different clean energy technologies are put together, they already make 2/3 of the investments we need for clean energy to reach our net zero targets. So these are all good and encouraging news, and our report gives a guideline, a roadmap for all the countries around the world, but also it highlights some risks and bottlenecks. One of them is, if I can summarize with one word, concentration. When we look at as we speak today, the concentration of manufacturing of these clean energy technologies, we see very staggering numbers. For example, all 5-6 top clean energy technologies, when we look at them, the top 3 countries constitute about 75% of global clean energy technology manufacturing capacity. Big number, big concentration. China alone, a country who started this trip many years ago, China alone is a major player. And for example, in terms of car batteries, that everybody talks about electric cars today, or I should say, many people have started to talk about electric cars today. 75% of the car batteries in the world today are built in China alone. I would like to highlight 3 points for your consideration. First of all, I believe there are big dividends for the countries who get their clean energy technology manufacturing policies right. If they get it right, they can be an important player in the next chapter of industrial age. And I mentioned to you billions of dollars of a new market and lots of jobs. So dividends are very high for all the countries. Having said that, getting the strategies right is not only investment framework and so, but getting the standards right is important. We believe we must not build the supply chains of clean energy future on polluting practices and environmental harm, or at the expense of vulnerable people. So therefore, high standards do matter. The second point I would like to make is that the how realistic and how smart the industrial policy of the countries will be of crucial importance, because not all the countries can compete in all the technologies we are talking about, or in all the supply chain. Countries should look at their competitive advantages, weaknesses, strengths in terms of the geography, in terms of geology, in terms of neighbors, who they are, in terms of their existing industrial expertise, what kind of synergies they can bring it about, and they should build their own industrial policy for the new age. And this book is a very good reference point to start with. The third point I would like to mention is, it is a repeating theme for the International Energy Agency, the significance of the international collaboration among the countries around the world. A healthy competition is perfect, but when we look at the different technologies, how to bring their costs down and how to deploy them in the best way and as soon as possible, because we have a challenge with the time, it calls for international collaboration here. And as such, I expect that in the next few years we will see strategic partnerships among different economies will be built based on their different characteristics of their economies, energy sector, industry, and also how and if they would complement each other.